Welcome back to Too Many Frames, the podcast where we talk about everything video games, anime, and everything in between. And today we have a very, very special episode. Today is all about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. We've got our Welcome to West City trailer today. And as per usual, I want to go ahead and talk about it. Now, here with me today, I have my guest, Nesquik Juice.
Welcome back, Wolfpack.
All right, today it's gonna be a one-on-one show, but I did want to talk about a lot of the stuff that was gonna be shown here, and I decided to ask the one person that I knew was gonna be probably the most hyped for this game, other than like me. But I mean, I'm hyped, but you know, for the most part, I'm also speculative because there are some things where I'm like looking at the game where I'm like, you know, it looks cool, but then sometimes where I'm like, I'm kind of iffy on certain things. But my first question for you, Nesquik, is based on the trailer that we got today, what are your opinions?
I'm very, very excited for this game to come out. This game should have came out yesterday. I'm tired. Xenoverse 2 should have died a long time ago. I've been fiending for this game.
I agree. I think I'm gonna be honest, bro. Were we asking for Xenoverse 3 before Sparking Zero even got announced? I mean, we've been asking for way longer than that, honestly, but I don't think we knew just how much they were gonna actually give us. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing people talk about in videos like, oh, you know, this is gonna be the biggest Xenoverse game, without actually knowing what the game was going to be called. But I mean, we knew it was going to be Xenoverse 3, but we just didn't know for a little bit. But people were like, oh yeah, this is going to be the biggest game. Like, they're working on a lot of shit. And honestly, based on the trailer that we got today, this looks pretty big, like extremely big. Based on like what you're seeing here visually, at least, what are your opinions? Because I have some, you know, decently sized opinions on the visual art style. I think it looks good in some parts, but other parts I'm kind of just like, you know?
So I'm actually a fan of the cell shading. It's what I wanted for a Dragon Ball game. I was a huge fan of it in Sparking Zero. I know a lot of people have grown a dislike towards the style. It's one of those things where they asked for it, we got it, and now they don't want it. But I think I'm a fan of it. I understand it could look weird at some ends. In terms of the actual characters and the way they look, this is the most unique characters have looked in a long time.
I agree. I'm a fan of the cell shading. I just think that there's some parts, and I think it's specifically in the CACs where they just look a little bit weird. Every other character looks fine to me, like as you can see on the screen. Piccolo, Trunks, even Krillin with the wide eyes, which is, I know a lot of people had opinions on the wide eyes on Krillin and all that.
Yeah,
but yeah. But he's supposed to look like that. It's just that Toei made him iconically not have any eye whites, which, you know, it's based on opinion, honestly. But regardless, though, I think the CACs are the ones that look rough. Like, as you can see, John 1000 looks like he could be touched up a little bit, but I think I understand why. It's like there's a lot of like different hairstyles that we're probably going to be getting, like just things in general that we are seeing right now that are not finalized, if that makes sense. But Bulma looks fine. It's just all the like OC characters that are looking a little bit strange, if that makes sense. But no, yeah, based on the trailer though, I think what I wanted from Xenoverse 2 was a story where we weren't just rehashing the old characters and old arcs that we had over and over again. And then we got Xenoverse 2. And I was like, damn. Because a big issue that I heard people have was if the first battle is us fighting against Raditz, they're gonna be angry. Now, based on the demo, they showed us fighting Broly, which was kind of crazy. But I don't know if that's the first battle, though. But it would be very interesting if that was the first battle. But I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your like hopes and dreams that this game actually ends up putting out for you?
So I'm very simplistic. I'm not really asking for much. The fact that we're getting a Xenoverse 2 replacement, that's all. Like my dreams are already complete.
Right. Now I get
But
that.
um if I were to ask for more, I mean, again, we've kind of already saw based on the trailers and based off of the summaries, which I'm sure we're gonna go into way later,
Mm,
but more customization. My biggest pet peeves about the Xenoverse games 1 and 2 is that for the droppable clothes that you're able to get, why are we not able to change their color? And not even change anything like drastically, just the color. Like imagine having like the Broly fit, the one that's red, like blue. Something simple like that would be more than enough for me, in my opinion. Obviously, we needed more hairstyles. We need more drip in general.
100%. Also, I don't want to have to grind for my drip. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be so for real. I know people are like, oh no, but that's what makes it fun. But like, I don't want to have like in Xenoverse 2, there's a specific piece of clothing that I had for my OC that I needed, and it was like Champa's like neck guard or whatever it's called, like the his neck piece. And I
Yeah.
needed that piece for the clothing so bad because it already like the character already looked like my OC, or like the clothes already like fit my character's like design from all those years ago. And that was like the last piece that I needed just for the visuals. But I literally never got lucky on the drop. And there was no way for people to trade items and stuff. I need there to be like
Oh, dude,
the
this gotta be a
systems need
trading
to, bro,
system.
there needs to be trading. I need to be able to trade like cosmetics, moves I get that you want to have people grind for and shit, but like let me at least trade like the cosmetics. Like if I have a shoe that I don't care about, but my homie wants that shoe, I'll give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like let's do that. Uh do
I
you
have a very similar story
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
that. I remember whenever the Universe 2 dropped, one of the best clothes that you can get at the time of release, and gorgeous I might add, was like the Super Baby 2 clothes.
Oh
The only
yeah.
way you can get them was by talking to the Boo family. You get like when you as you finish the story, you eventually get more of like Boo's like children, I guess. And by talking to them, you have a chance to get his clothing because that was the only way you can get it. And I was very unlucky to get it. Meanwhile, my one of my our other friends got it like first try, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there.
Literally, I had y'all running that parallel quest. What parallel quest was it for Champa show? Was it like
I
130
think it was a DLC
something?
one,
Yeah,
something
it was
like
definitely
that.
DLC because it was Champa, right? But like we were running
Yeah.
that parallel quest. Who was there? It was a training. It was a training for the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 shit. Um, which just never I never got it. I was very annoyed. And we did everything right multiple times, and I kept getting the pants only. And I'm like, how am I only getting the pants? Or like the shoes or whatever. But regardless, I hope they make it a little bit more streamlined. Like I understand certain drops should be rare. That's what makes like these types of games more fun. But you know, maybe a little bit more generous with some of these. You know, like shit. If I do a parallel quest like 20 times without getting the items, I could just pick an item or some shit. You know, like the RNG can't be that crazy. I don't know, whatever. Besides all of that, I think we should probably start getting into the meat and potatoes of the game. First and foremost, like the thing that I want to talk about the most is actually the races. In an interview with the director, cannot remember his name right now, and I cannot find said interview, but they asked him about whether certain races would be returning or if we would get any new races. And he said, I'm paraphrasing right now, but he said something about, you know, from like there'll obviously be more things to come and or more information to come later on. But from Universe 2 and Universe 3, we want to make sure that the character customization is as vast as possible. Now, I had to look up who was in Universe 2 and who was in Universe 3 because I literally did not remember the characters from that respective universe at all. But Universe 2 is Ribrianne's universe. And then Universe 3 was the like automaton, like robot universe, if that makes sense. Where they all combined to make that big what's that guy's name? You know what I'm talking about.
It was before Annie Raza, right? It was
Anaraza, yeah. Is that universe specifically. So I'm wondering if we will get like an actual just like robot class, which would be kind of crazy. I don't think it's gonna be like non-humanoid. I feel like it'll probably still be humanoid just because it sounds insane to like put that much effort into like that big of a body class. But if they were willing to do all that, like I'd be very excited. Was there any class that you wanted, or not class, but race that you wanted to see represented in this game besides like the ones that we already have?
There's a multitude of races. I'm just gonna knock them out really quick. Demons need to be in the game. Angels need to be in the
Mm,
game. Androids. They need to expand humans. And what I mean by that is that
yeah.
when you go into the Dragon Ball world, we have like animals as humanoids. Like you should be able to be like a cat, a
Yeah.
dog.
That'd be sick. Wait, that would actually, I'd actually rock with that a lot. You know what? Yeah, I want the furry class or something. Like, let me be a dog. Let me be a
Yeah.
bird. Shit, like lizard man. You know, like Toriyama is so good with his character design, where like he can make a character look really cool. Like I don't know if you've seen like the new Dragon Quest game, but like
Oh yeah.
his character designs are really cool. No matter how many people want to hate on that little lizard dude, the little dragon dude, I think that's cool that that is a design that came from his pen. Uh, at least I think for me, I mean, I would love angels. I don't know how it would work in the lore though, just because like usually if you're an angel in training, and then you get your powers taken away if you do fight or interfere. I don't know if they would like go against lore just to make you be able to be that class or race, or if that could be like a DLC thing. I mean, technically, because we're gonna get what's his name? I cannot remember his name from the Moral arc. Damn, what is his name?
Uh, you're talking about
The Galactic Patrol arc
um,
guy. Fuck.
yeah, I know Mirrors. You're talking about
Mirrors.
Mirrors.
Yeah, yeah. If Mirrors eventually comes in as like a DLC or something, I could see them being like, oh, along with this DLC, a new race has been added. And if you guys want to start the game over, then you could go ahead and do that. Oh, also, wait, that's what I also wanted to talk about. So I'm kind of all over the place right now. If we are doing multiple races and stuff, I would love if they made it to where like if I wanted to make a brand new character, I didn't have to start all over. Did that happen in Xenoverse 2? Or if you wanted to make a brand new character, you had to like go through the story mode again? Or am I making that up in my head?
Um, I'm gonna be honest. It's been quite some time. They definitely made it easier for you to like grind these things. I'm pretty sure in terms of story, you don't have to grind it again, but I could be completely wrong and
The
get
levels you at
roasted
least
for it.
had to. I think the levels you
Yeah,
at
the
least had to
levels
do
you
that.
had to. They
Yeah.
made quality of life changes to make the grind easier, but you still kind of had to restart um equipment and all that skills. They did get passed on over,
Right. I remember
obviously,
that.
but
Yeah.
I'm admittedly a little foggy on it, so I can't really tell you for sure.
It's probably gonna have to be another Xenoverse playthrough again. I'm gonna be dead ass. So they did also confirm alongside, you know, new like sorry, they also confirmed along with the game like we're gonna get brand new mechanics. So I kind of want to go over a couple of these. First and foremost, the key gauge is completely gone, and all moves are going to be based off of cooldowns, similar to like if you played Pokemon Legends ZA or like Xenoblade or a game similar to that. Like all your like specials are going to be based on a cooldown. So like a Kamehameha might be like 5 seconds. Kaioken might be like I saw the video, but I don't remember the cooldown number. But like that might be like 10 seconds in terms of a cooldown and all that. So I want to know, based off of that, is that something that you find like more preferable, or do you think that they should have just stuck with the old system with like key and like key management and all that?
It's a really interesting choice for them to change it like that, but I think it will grow on people as time will go on.
Hmm. I'm like in a spot where I just don't want, because like this is what the director was saying in an interview, that people were just kind of spamming stamina based moves and would just like max out their stamina or their key, I mean, and then just 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 do a lot of fucking spamming, you know, which I feel like with cooldowns it makes it to where like you're not allowed to like spam as much, which could be interesting and also could allow for like more, you know, interesting gameplay. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna come about. But like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see how it's actually gonna feel. I think it'll probably feel fine, though, all things considered. They also said next is that stamina has pretty much the same, but it has been changed. The health bar is going to be one big single bar again, like Xenoverse 1, rather than having multiple different health bars like in Xenoverse 2. Nestor and I kind of talked about this a little bit beforehand. I'm kind of in the space where I'm like, it doesn't really matter that much to me. It's more like a visual aesthetic rather than like, you know, something that actually matters to the game. The next thing that they said is that skills are now divided into 3 different types, each with their own special purpose for combat. So you have skills that are like guard piercing skills, so they're unblockable and they deal damage through guards. You have stamina draining skills, which reduce the enemy's stamina on hit, and break critical skills that deal great damage and do massive damage during a stamina break and gain special animations similar to how they are in Kakarot. Also, by the way, shout outs to Zeniza on Twitter. I would not be able to go through like a lot of the summaries without him posting a lot of the notes for this, because there's a lot of stuff that ended up getting changed. And like I said, it would be very hard to keep track of everything. So shout out to you. Thank you for that. I'll post that link to his tweet in the description as well in the video if you guys want to go ahead and look at that. But based on these moves, how are you feeling about like these different classes of moves or like subtypes of moves being put into the game?
I'm extremely excited for the versatility that you're able to use across all these skills, because before it was kind of, you know, you have your key blast supers, you have your strike skills, you have your what is it? I forget what the other one was called, but you're basically you're either, it's your Kaioken skills, or like you pop a pose, or you know, you do some, you do protect basically in
like
Pokemon
buffs.
standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to do buffs and nerfs, exactly. This gives layers to what is to come in Xenoverse 3, and I'm really excited for that, because I think builds, I mean, at the time, you know, if you experienced the game, they were definitely pretty interesting, but this just adds a lot of layers and depth to this game. Variety, if you will.
I agree. I think one of my biggest issues, it's not even that it was really an issue, but it just felt like the support for Xenoverse 2. I know this is going to sound crazy, but like a lot of the stuff that came out in Xenoverse 2 was just not as interesting to me. Like they put a lot of stuff, like there's a lot of DLC that you could do and play right now that is technically like what, maybe like a year old at max, right? That you could touch like right now, but like it's like, oh, you got to go ahead and fight super villain Vegeta. And it's like, okay, like I guess, or supervillain, whatever. Like, and like they did all these things, and I felt like it's because they wanted to use a lot of the super manga characters, but they just could not, just due to the other stuff, which we'll get into in another video, maybe another Too Many Frames episode. But I do like that there is a lot more of an MMO feel to this, and it feels like this game is probably going to have the same amount of support, if not even more, than Xenoverse 2 had. Like Xenoverse 1 was like what, maybe like a year or two from Xenoverse 2 in release date?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like a year and a half or like 2 years. People like to call, at the time, it's pretty funny retroactively seeing how people reacted on the release of Xenoverse 2. I remember people were calling Xenoverse 2 just a 1.5 of the game of Xenoverse 1, but little did we know.
I mean, if I'm being honest, Xenoverse 1 was like the play test, and then Xenoverse 2 was like actual Xenoverse. You know, like it was a $60 demo, if I'm being honest.
That's probably how I would put it, for sure. Like Xenoverse 2 was definitely more divisive and like layered. As much as I want to hate it, I have really good memories. I just, my thing with Xenoverse 2 is that it just dragged on way too long. That's why I grew to hate it.
I'm hoping that with this game, though, that they, like, with the amount of time that they took to create this, that it shows within the gameplay, because this world seems ginormous. Like I'm like just looking at what's on the screen right now, like the city itself, like you're able to fight within the city, you're able to fight on different maps and all that. It seems genuinely huge. And I'm very, very interested to see like what the story is going to be. I want to kind of go into like a little bit more of the gameplay stuff first before we get into story mode stuff and other things like that that are a little bit more interesting. So first and foremost, there is a technique called soul change and awoken skills. I mean, the awakened skills we already know about. It's like you turning into Super Saiyan, or you going like golden for the Frieza race, or like giant for the Namekians and all that. Or you can have a soul change technique. So you could just like turn in to whatever character that you want that is available in the game. Now, me personally, when I first saw this in the scans, I was like, I'm not really a fan of this mechanic, because I was like, damn, they could have just like left that out and it would have been super fine for me. But it's apparently like not like something that you need to have, which is like, okay, cool. So I could just change it out for whatever my transformation is and just be done. But I do think that it does kind of suck that you have to only have one transformation. I was kind of hoping that they would allow people that have like the Saiyan race, they could go from Super Saiyan, and then right after that go Super Saiyan 2, and then climb up to Super Saiyan 3, and then if they wanted to, Super Saiyan 4 if it gets added in this game, which I'm hoping it does. But you know, I'm not really sure how to feel about the soul change thing though. But how do you feel?
Yeah, so mechanically for the transformations, that's seemingly how tradition has always been for Xenoverse as a whole, because they never made it to where, you know, you go Super Saiyan 1, then you could go 2 or 3. You have to essentially equip the transformation, and then like what you see is what you get. And for better or for worse, in Xenoverse 2 at least, you can tell before we got DLCs, they try to balance it so you can use the other transformations, but you know, as time has gone on, like they just let go of that concept really easily.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see if there's a benefit of using like Super Saiyan, like, oh, you could tap into the mastered Super Saiyan rather than just go opting to like, you know, the max Super Saiyan there is, Super Saiyan 3, Blue, God 4. It'd be interesting to see if
UI.
they adapt something. Yeah, yeah, UI, right? Like go maximum rather than seeing what's unique about these traits. I definitely want them to delve more into that. They had like a little bit of a foundation, but you know, DLC tax will be DLC tax, and you know, you gotta have a way to play with the shiny new toys.
That is true. I do have an idea for what they could do with humans, because I said this before in our own like little conversations before we started like the podcast, but I want there to be a way for you to just customize your form, if that makes sense. Like for Super Saiyans, like yeah, you could usually Super Saiyans have yellow hair, and correct me if I'm wrong. Is Legendary Super Saiyan a transformation in Xenoverse 2, or is that purely for Broly?
Uh, as far as I know, it's purely for Broly. I know they eventually added like Beast as a transformation.
Right.
I don't know if they did the same for Broly. I can't really recall. By the time I dropped Xenoverse was whenever like I believe it was the Future Saga dropped, and then I was like, yep, the game peaked here.
Fair enough. That's fair. My idea was that essentially you get to just change certain transformations in like your auras, like your own customizable aura color, or your ki blast color, or even like just things like that would be super cool. So I'm like, if a human was to go and get the potential unleashed ability, which it's not just for humans, but you know, it's probably like one of the most popular human transformations other than the flying Nimbus. Yeah, which I'm gonna be honest, like it was broken, but like that's so lame. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's so lame that is their only one. Especially also it doesn't make any sense because like Goku, the Saiyan, was riding Nimbus. Like it doesn't make sense to like lock it behind humans only. I hope they find a way to make humans get a transformation, or just make them like I said, be able to get their own unique one. Like let me customize the hair color, or like let me get super duper ripped like Roshi. Like Roshi starts off super skinny, and then when he gets into like his like big form, I don't even know if is it Super Roshi. I don't know what you even call the name for that, but he gets super duper muscular. Like give me
Like
that level of
Max
customization.
Power.
Max power, yeah. Give me that. Give me that. That's what I'm hoping for. Other than that though, like yeah, customizable auras, key blasts, that should be for everybody. And then like hopefully they do add in some things like orange Namekians for the Namekian race. I don't know if they did that in Xenoverse 2 also. Like I said, it's been so long since I played it, but it'd be really cool if you could just become orange and go orange Namekian. And then other than that, I don't know what else you do for the Frieza race unless you want to just give them black. Spoilers, I guess, actually, if you don't read the manga, but like, I mean, shit, I'm gonna be honest, most Dragon Ball fans know everything about Dragon Ball before it even gets animated sometimes. So, like, do you think that they would put black in or anything manga specific in, or do you think it's just gonna have to stay whatever is animated is the only thing that gets put into these games?
It's clear that unfortunately, whatever gets animated will be put in said games. Of course, they can layer it the way they want, but you know, if you want to see like mastered UI, like the black-haired form, but you know, he's able to tap into it, or you know, Ultra Ego, Black Frieza, so on and so on. They clearly don't want to step into that territory. Let me rephrase that. They cannot step into that territory even if they wanted to. We've been shown that that is the case with them doing like the like ultra evil like Super Saiyan God Vegeta, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be the compromise for us not getting Ultra Ego, and it's like a pretty unique taste, but it really sucks that we can't do more.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is another discussion for another day, but I really do hope that eventually everything from the super manga can get animated, and also that Toyotaro is able to continue the manga. It feels like there's something in the works maybe, but I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. But I'm
I
praying.
will say Xenoverse 3's release is calculated, because if you recall in Xenoverse 2, whenever it came out, you know, Super was on airing. You know, we were getting these arcs. You know, they were able to put these DLCs with the Universe 6, the Future, eventually TOP. They were able to do like Broly stuff, superhero stuff, etc. And hey, I mean, the anime is coming back. I know it's a super remake, but we're supposed to be getting, you know, Galactic Patrol.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be around Xenoverse 3, chat.
You're not wrong. I'm hoping that they do. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe a little more, maybe do like a little teaser when Galactic Patrol eventually stops airing, which who knows how many episodes that's going to be. Maybe like what, 24, you think? Something like that. 24 episodes. It's like 4 months animated. Like I said, we literally will not know anything until we see something. Regardless though, going from there, we know that there is going to be some quests, but they're not necessarily called parallel quests. You get only one ultimate attack, but there are assist characters that you could have that'll allow you to do like attacks with you. Like Vegeta in one of the videos was able to like do a Gallic gun with you. What else? You can encounter canon characters within the new city, which I'm wondering if this is only I'm wondering if this is just to like have them be there, because obviously a lot of these niggas are not gonna be alive. But I do hope that since we are seeing these past versions of these characters, but also Bulma, like what with what she would presumably look like in year 1000, that we might see like an old Piccolo or like a character that's like somewhat nigh immortal like later on. Which I mean, I guess we technically did see Piccolo, but I don't know if that's like supposed to be like a younger Piccolo or what. And like that was just shown on the screen right now if you're watching. Like, but I don't know like what it's like what how deep they were able to go, if that makes sense, in terms of like making custom characters. Because what I want from this game at least is to like completely divert itself from what Xenoverse 2 and Xenoverse 1's thing was, which was going back and like, you know, using canon characters only for things and canon designs for characters and shit. I want them to be like, all right, this is Goku in the year 1000. Like, this is him aged up if he's somehow still alive. I don't know what the age limit for Saiyans are.
Now, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to alarm anybody, but where's Goku?
I mean, he was there in the first trailer. In the first trailer.
And it is.
I mean, but like, they're fighting Broly, so it makes me think, okay, there's some reasoning for them
Goku
to
is
fight him.
Not present at all.
Yeah. But Bulma's there.
Yes, and you know they're doing these gimmicks with their holograms, virtual fighters.
Gamma 1000's there.
Gamma 1000's there. He's not a fucking virtual hologram. Where's Goku at? Even Vegeta has one.
No, but it's young Vegeta. It's not real.
I know it's Scouter. Vegeta, but still, like, where are they?
I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to use Goku until like the very end of the game. I think what they want us to do is actually like get to know these new characters that are like here, because that's like the thing that I'm like really excited about, because it does feel like a JRPG where you're like going and meeting all these new characters with new like designs that you've literally never seen before, and like, you know, just having an adventure with them. And I think that's what's going to make the game more interesting to me. Like, you're fighting like random goobers here with your bro, and like, you know, like just taking on the world. And eventually, probably, you know, with most JRPGs, you got to fight some godly level guy, which is probably going to be like a demon or maybe maybe an angel that turned rogue, a rogue angel or some shit. I just feel like the room for growth is like super exponential. I feel like there's no roof actually. Like, they can literally do whatever they want with this. Now, I also heard that a lot of Xenoverse 2 things are being rebooted in this franchise, and they're trying to separate themselves from there. Because from what I'm hearing is that there is no time patrollers in this game. And I'm wondering if the Supreme Kai of Time is going to be back or not.
So, first of all, good riddance to that. I mean, it's not a hot take or that crazy to say that Xenoverse Trunks did unrepairable damage to the Trunks we all know and love.
Unironically, I hate Trunks because of Xenoverse Trunks. Like, I'm being so dead ass. Like, Trunks is such a cool character, and I forget sometimes how cool of a character he is. And then it's like, why do I not like him? I forget. He's actually cool as shit. And then it's Xenoverse, and I'm like, oh yeah, huh? I forgot. Xenoverse literally made me hate that guy. But no, yeah, like, are you also of like the mindset that they're going to like boost this game up the ass? Excuse my French, but like in terms of DLC and content and shit. Like, I'm expecting expansions on expansions. Like literally, I'm expecting Final Fantasy 14 levels of support for this game, which I know sounds crazy, but like they genuinely could.
If we're following the track record for Xenoverse 2, then it sounds like a no-brainer, right? But I do like how you framed it just now. You said expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong, like, Xenoverse 2 had content and for the DLCs, but would I call those DLCs expansions though?
Hell no.
No,
you're fighting guys in probably the same map, and sometimes you might get a new map, like with the GT shit.
Yeah. And you know, you get your new stories here and there, and the stories, admittedly, as they progress, they've gotten better, and it's a shame that they got better when I dropped the game off.
Right.
But that said, if there were expansions for DLCs, like true expansions, I would be all for it. I don't want just like one off like, oh, I mean, I don't even know what they're even gonna do with characters because that's its own can of worms, right? But just for the sake of this, like I don't want them to, you know, do DLC characters, oh, you get their skills, you get to play in their I mean, they're not doing PQ seemingly. I don't know what they're gonna do, but
Yeah.
I don't want their skills to drop for this DLC only. Or like the coolest thing they did was story whenever the DLCs came out. And even that, like after you're done with the story, like I don't want to be that guy because Xenoverse 2 is a grindy game, but like what is there for you to do? Like there's no layers to this shit.
Yeah, it just becomes grindy and repetitive, which I got a completely understandable reason for why anybody would drop this game. From what I'm understanding, though, they know that everybody is like tired of Xenoverse 2, and they're like, we're gonna make this game like amazing. Like they want this game to be like everybody's dream Dragon Ball game, which I'm hoping it is, because I want it to be like a Dragon Ball game in its own separate reality.
And I'm
that makes sense.
Following their vision. I'm letting them cook per usual.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Because I know some people are going to be mad for me saying this, but this is probably what's going to end up happening. Do you think that there will be any PvP in this game, or are you thinking it's just going to be like PvE shit? And to expand on that, would you be okay if with it being only PvE stuff if it was like as expansive as we're hoping for?
Assuming it's the wet dream scenario and it is super expansive, like I was explaining for them in the expansion portion, I am down for them to let go of PvP, but I feel like PvP is also like a big aspect of the game. There's so many roots of the game that you can't take away. I don't know if this is such root.
I mean, my thing is, right, whenever I look at this game, it makes me, I'm wondering like, okay, why is it somewhat rough? And I'm thinking it's because of how big this game actually is. And when I think about how big this game is going to be, it makes me wonder, okay, what are they cutting? Like, what are they willing to cut? And to me, it feels like there is not going to be like you being able to pick Goku or Vegeta and stuff like that and being able to fight with them. I'm thinking that they are like, look, we have Sparking Zero for all that shit. If you want to play a arena fighter with all your favorite Dragon Ball characters, Sparking Zero is right there. Has the most Dragon Ball characters out of any game in an arena fighter. Play that shit. This is a story-based game, and we want it to be, as story focused as possible. That's why I feel like they're going, at least to me personally.
In that aspect, I actually do agree. Okay. Now, for people's feelings about Sparking Zero, I mean, you could drop that shit. Like, that shit is for another day. Yeah. I don't really care. But I do want them to at least keep one thing, and that's like at least fighting CAC versus CAC.
Facts. Yeah. I want there to be like guilds in the game, and you could do like guild wars and shit against like CPU versions of other people's CACs. Because I feel like if you do real-time shit, it might get a little bit messy because, certain people won't be able to log online and shit and like be able to do this shit. Because, people have work, people have jobs, people need to fucking, do things, and not everybody could sweat online. But if it's like those mobile gacha games or whatever, where you have a guild and then you just like put your character in, and whatever your like latest version of your character is like the version that represents you in the guild. I feel like that could be cool. And then if you want to do like some like 3v3 online shit, that's like a whole separate thing where you got to get your friends. Like, all right, we're gonna do 3v3 or 2v2, like how it was in Xenoverse 2, and then you just go ahead and fight niggas. But like at the same time though, like I said, I don't know, because this whole battle system just looks so new. Like because I didn't play Kakarot, but it feels very Kakarot-esque in terms of like the RPG shit with like all the numbers popping up like every time you do damage and stuff. I just don't know how that would like be able to translate to like a PvP setting.
Right.
Other than that, based off of everything that we have seen, we've also seen like, you know, brand new characters, obviously brand new story. My opinion, or my question to you is, does the story, now that we know that they said it's going to have around 20 to 30 hours of story, this is based on an interview, an actual interview. He said it's going to have 20 to 30 hours of story. How does that make you feel about having to see these characters all the time? Because I've seen some people say, damn, these characters look ugly as shit. I got to stare at these guys instead of looking at my beautiful King Gohan or Goku or Trunks, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to look at these new niggas. Like, I don't have to look at them, you know? But, or, you know, are you kind of like, oh, cool, it's brand new faces and shit? Like,
I do see where people are coming from. You know, not seeing familiar faces and like new ones could be very uncomfortable from what we're used to. But I am welcome for the change, especially if we could get away from Xenoverse 2.
do you want the Supreme Kai time to come back? Or would you rather her stay back over there? All right.
her ass could stay over there.
all right, man. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, because some people were talking about how, like, since Daima kind of changed the lore for the Demon Realm, that a lot of the stuff that they did with Fu might just get retconned and they just delete that shit. So I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know a lot of the stuff that's been going on with Fu in Xenoverse 2, besides like the stuff that I've seen like at the very beginning of Xenoverse 2's like DLC expansion stuff. Not expansion, but you know what I mean. The DLC releases. But like, do you care at all about it getting revamped? Like, I know you're saying that you kind of dropped off Xenoverse 2 after a while, but like, how much do you personally like how do you feel about like the Demon Realm lore being revamped or retconned?
Okay.
Cause
Well,
what's his name? Mira and Toa and
yeah.
the other guy, I forgot his name. Like, they all got their shit, like, you know, rewritten basically.
Mira, Toa, Demigra.
Demigra, yes.
Whatever Fu is. It really sucks that they seemingly will be dropped off if lore like this will finally be covered when they never even got the light of day to like shine in that aspect.
Yeah.
Because those characters are extremely interesting, but they're held back in the fact that, you know, we always have to do these time heists and save this aspect of like a saga or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They're just kind of merchants on that fashion. But I know people are gonna get on my head like, oh, they already covered this and all that, but they just didn't do it like a well enough job to do so if that were the case. Like, I feel like we needed more depth for these characters rather than fighting them in PQs or in story. Like, make me want to hate these guys, not just because they're merchants of Xenoverse 2.
I understand that. That how you feel about that. I guess the only other thing that I want to talk about, I mean, I know there's a whole lot of things that we could talk about. We could go super duper in depth. I'm not trying to have this video be that long though, but there will be playable demos. A lot of people have actually played the demo already, but we do know that there is going to be a road tour map for everybody.
There you go.
And by everybody, I mean if you live in California, Texas, Minnesota, Ohio. Okay, anyways, they will be having a lot of playable demos. First one being at DreamCon July 10th to the 12th in Houston. We have Anime Impulse in Santa Clara July 18th. We have the Wine and Culinary Center at San Diego July 23rd to the 26th. We have Head in the Clouds in Pasadena August 8th. Anime Impulse in Anaheim August 22nd and 23rd. The Lost Lands in Legend Valley, September 18th to the 20th. King of Prussia Mall is going to have a playable test for them in October 3rd and the 4th. We have Mall of America in Rotunda in Minnesota, October 16th to the 18th. And then the one that I'm probably going to be able to play it at is going to be at Camp Flog Gnaw in Los Angeles. No, I'm going to be so honest. That's the most random. This is what I really wanted to bring up. This is the most random choice for them. I'm gonna get back to this though. Camp Flog Gnaw November 14th to the 15th. LA Auto Show. This is also another random one, but the more that I think about it, I'm like, wait, that's their demo. Never mind. No, actually, no. Fuck you. That is the demographic. Niggas in LA that love cars, bro. They love Dragon Ball. They love Dragon Ball. They're like, yeah, we gonna bring it to y'all niggas, man. Oh my god. That's so funny. November 21st to the 30th.
They know our audience. What can I say?
I'm just saying.
I say our audience like I own the game, right?
No, but like, let's keep it a stack though. Like, Hispanic, Black, like, just I'm just saying, like, Hispanic and Black people love Dragon Ball, bro. But either way, regardless, and then they have Delamo and Torrance, Delamo Fashion Center in Torrance, California. A lot of places that they will be able to play it at. I'm really sad for anybody that lives like anywhere that's not California, because everywhere, a lot of places in California will be able to play it at. Like, as long as you live in LA, you can pretty much go to every single Xenoverse 3 showcase.
That's crazy to me.
Except for the Camp Flog Gnaw one, because that one's sold out. But I mean,
yeah,
shit, for the most part, you can play everything. Are you gonna try to go to any one of these?
I am an indoors person, but I mean, it is Xenoverse 3.
The closest one would be
that's like a non-event.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, they're all events is the issue.
Yeah, I don't know.
The closest one in terms of like time would probably be the Anime Impulse one in August, which is in Anaheim for Anime Impulse. But
yeah,
it's an Anime Impulse, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of niggas trying to play Dragon Ball there. So
yeah, I feel like for most of these, mine is like, okay, strictly speaking off of Cali, I think that's the case for all of these.
I'm gonna be keeping a brick. The fact that they even now I gotta make time to play fucking games at Camp Flog Gnaw. I'm gonna keep it a brick. Nah, I got a message for y'all niggas going to Camp Flog Gnaw. Look, if you don't, I know there's a lot of you niggas that don't even like most of the artists that go there. Y'all don't be dancing. Y'all don't do nothing. You sit there and stand. Y'all try to get ahead of me and just stand in the crowds. I swear to God, if I see any of you niggas try to play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 before me, I'm breaking your fucking neck. I'm so serious, bro. Just stay in your lane, bro. If you don't like anime and shit, do not touch this shit. I will be quizzing every single person that is in that line about Dragon Ball facts. If you cannot answer me at least 5 questions, you're done. I promise you this. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm tired. I'm gatekeeping. I'm so sick.
That reminds me of that shit that what is it? Japan's doing for Pokemon.
If you cannot answer 3, nigga, you better tell me the BST for Garchomp right now if you want to be able to play this game. That's an easy one. That is an easy one. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. It is. What does Goten call the Kamehameha wave? Actually, that's kind of a well, never mind. That might be easy. That's an easy one. That's an easy one.
Call me your mama.
Call me your mama. Oh, hell no.
Call me your mama. Call me your mama.
The only issue is that I don't know a lot about like the Dragon Ball community jokes. in terms of like YouTube shit. So a lot of people be having like the inside jokes with like Goresh and Rhyme Style and all these other guys, and I'm just like, I have no clue what these niggas are talking about because I'm already too deep with Pokemon shit and like other Nintendo things where it's like Dragon Ball is like I would have to like do that shit all over again.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not really anything. Most of the time, people are just like poking fun of these community heads, or like they did like a random moment that's like embarrassing, and now they get like that shit's tailing them for the rest of their life.
Actually, no, yeah, deadass. If somebody is not able to name 3 Dragon Ball YouTubers or content creators at all, they should not be allowed to go play at Camp Flog now, bro. I'm gonna keep it
from which game? Legends, Dokkan, Xenoverse 2?
Just 3 people in real life that are connected. That's all you gotta do. Just 3 people in real life. I'll make it easy. I'll make it so easy. As long as they're...
There's layers. There's layers to this shit.
Name 3 voice actors. That's it. That's all you need. I'll accept Kagi. You can say Kagi Films if you want.
Yo, could I say Chris Sabat 3 times?
No,
like
no.
times?
It has to be no.
He does like so many characters.
No, but it's so easy for people to be like, oh, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo. Although it is funny because my girlfriend did not know anything about Dragon Ball. That's so funny. She's so excited to play Xenoverse 3, and I'm like, you need to get through Dragon Ball first before you get excited about this shit. I'm gonna keep it up.
Sean Schemmel, Chris Sabat,
Monica. Damn, I forgot her last name.
Oh yeah,
Monica Rial. You know what's so crazy? I can't even actually name more than that. What's Krillin's name? I forgot his voice actor's name because I know he does Usopp. Damn, I'm a fake ass nigga.
He does Barcock also, funnily enough.
I forgot about Sunny Straight. That's what it was. Sunny Straight. I completely forgot.
I was gonna say Broly's OG VA. He does
Johnny. Not Johnny Young Bosch. Damn, I said Johnny Young Bosch. That's his new one, but it's Ooh, I cannot remember his name. He got like completely wiped from existence after that shit happened.
Yeah. Oh, Vic Mignogna.
Vic Mignogna. Yep. Yeah. I think we're gonna end it here. I think we should probably not go any further than that. If you guys are,
I have one more thing.
Oh,
the first good Dragon Ball game to have crossplay.
Oh,
holy
yeah.
Fuck,
okay. No, you're totally right. I completely forgot like about a couple of things I wanted to say. Okay, crossplay in a Dragon Ball game, and the game looks good. Oh, we're eating.
Do you guys know? You guys want to know the last Dragon Ball game that was crossplay? It was fucking Breakers.
Yeah, I was about to say,
yes.
bro.
I'm telling you guys right now, a lot of these negative things that you hear online for these games would not be so bad if it was crossplay. Sparking Zero, Xenoverse 2 on like launch, or maybe it could be added later on. Fighters, if all those games have crossplay, there would be less complaints.
And this is a Bandai problem specifically. These niggas need to get their shit together.
It actually is.
Like, Jenny, I'm glad that they did it though.
Yeah, I'm so glad this game has crossplay. That's what it needed.
Now, I don't want to be that guy, and I know I'm going to be that guy, and people are going to get mad for me being that guy, but where's the Switch 2 port at? Like, I don't know if it sounds crazy, but like if they could put Final Fantasy 7 series on the Switch 2, you could literally put any game there. Like, I'm being so for real. Like, maybe like except for GTA 6, which even then I could still see them doing that. I'm just getting tired of like these companies, not Sega, not being Atlas, being willing to like, you know, optimize their games at all. Like, I don't know if you saw the Sonic Frontiers trailer for the Switch 2, the definitive edition, or not even the trailer, just like people's actual gameplay, like screenshots and shit. For the 60 frames, it does not look good at all. It looks like it's like 480p in terms of resolution. And then it goes up to like 720 in the 30 frames mode. It does not look good, bro. I'm gonna be so serious.
No wonder they shadow dropped it.
That's what I'm saying. I know This is a Dragon Ball
Now
thing.
it is Frontiers. It is Frontiers.
No, but it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't matter, bro. We have Final Fantasy right there as the blueprint. You are not allowed to show me. There's no excuse anymore. Also, Resident Evil, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil. Shit, Monster Hunter Wilds is gonna be on the Switch 2. There's no reason why your games should not be launching with Switch 2 anymore. I'm being so serious because I already know it's gonna be a Xenoverse 3 Switch 2 edition, and then I'm gonna be like, damn, like, am I able to at least cross save and shit? Because if there's no cross save, what's the point of me even getting it? If that makes sense, I don't know.
That would suck.
Like now I gotta go ahead and figure out if I want to play this on my PS5 or on my PC. PC would be cool with mods, but also it's like it wouldn't feel like.
Yeah, I'm really glad. I want to say I'm probably gonna get this game on P5.
Damn, the El Cinco lives another day, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If they do announce cross save though, I will probably be dropping my PS5 off at the nearest donation booth. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, no, I'm excited though. Crossplay is gonna be really fun. That's gonna mean that literally anybody, well, as long as you have a console, but anybody is going to be able to play with each other, and I'm very excited for what that means for the longevity of the game. Hopefully, like I said, raids. Hopefully, they do guilds in groups and shit. Maybe they'll call them like clubs in the game since we're like based in a school, like a college and all that. Which is another thing I kind of forgot to talk about. Like the world building in this game looks really cool. Like it's like you're an adult in like a college area. They could have, like, this is a JRPG. They could have made us a teenager so bad. They really could have, but they made us in college, which I was like, thank fucking God. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Where Persona fails me, Dragon Ball loves to deliver. But yeah. With that being the case though, I'm very excited for this game. We will probably do another episode based on whenever the game does come out, or we see like the final trailer, and then post the game coming out and us playing the game and giving our thoughts about it. But with that being the case, Nesquick, is there anything else that you wanted to say before I end this episode off?
Gohan, Blanco, El Hermano, add them to the game.
I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.